So I have for me an interesting little DAC amp device today. This is the $200 Fosi K7 and it's marketed towards gamers, whatever that means. Personally, what makes me interested in this product and the reason I thought I'd cover it is the fact that it has two different knobs and one is for a built-in EQ. So let's take a quick look at its features and I'll give you some of my thoughts around it. The first thing I really like to do when I look at devices is I look at the inputs and outputs. So here we have a pretty basic set of inputs as well as RCA out. Interestingly, we have Bluetooth here, which could be a nice little touch. In the front, we have 3.5 output and 4.4 output as well, which is really nice to see. And here is the microphone input that we get, which is probably why this is marketed towards more for gamers. On the top, we get the real meat and potatoes. The left knob is the volume control and you can toggle high and low gain just by pressing on it here. The right knob is the more interesting one. It controls the EQ for the bass and the treble and the microphone volume as well. And in order to do that, you just have to press this button to toggle between them. This is what the EQ looks like on a graph. Here's the bass in increments of 3 decibels. It honestly kind of sucks. It's extremely wideband and affects anything under 1 kilohertz. Same goes for the treble as well. So it's basically just a big shell for the bass and treble. That's it. As an EQ function, it's going to be quite limited in how you can use it because it's so broad and it's going to quickly get out of control. There is a bypass button here that will allow you to quickly toggle the EQ on and off for you to, check, except there is a bit of a lag which makes it annoying to use. The other thing I don't like about it is that the knobs and buttons feel kind of bad, honestly. You can see there's quite a bit of wiggle in the knob here before it goes on to the next step. The click on it, however, is okay, I guess. The buttons at the bottom though do feel quite shallow. It's just not very nice to press though. I guess you won't be touching it too much if you do have your settings dialed in. Something you do want to watch for is this UAC button. You'll want to keep it at UAC 1 in order to use the microphone. So overall, I'm not convinced that this is super useful. At $200, it's not a bad desktop DAC amp with a dedicated mic knob if you need that for gaming. And I guess the EQ is a nice touch, I guess. However, my question is how many people will actually use that classic microphone jack nowadays? Because I feel like for a lot of gaming headsets and microphones, they all use USB input now. So I think that the problem that this device is trying to solve isn't really that big of an issue anymore. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. You can let me know in the comments what you think about this and if you'd buy something like the Fosi K7.